Okay, so now we are live. Hello and good evening to all of you. Good morning and good afternoon from my side, from all over the world. This is Huma Shah. Here we are again from the day 5 of the Scholar Program organized by Global Trainer Academy. And today we have the different scholars from the different countries. We have the scholars from India, Vietnam, and Pakistan as well, and some of the other countries as well. Okay, so before starting the program, I would like to clear one thing to all of my listeners, especially our respected and honorable members, and yes, especially for our members. The thing is that the scholar program organized by Global Trainer Academy is only for our executive board members. Only executive board members are allowed to join our Zoom meeting. On the other hand, the members of Global Trainer Academy has completely allowed to share the screen, or they can watch us live on YouTube or the Facebook. If they have any sort of questions, any sort of queries to the scholars on the topic which they are going to give his or her idea or the presentation, so they can text me directly, or they can contact to the CEO, as well as they can also comment on the YouTube live or the Facebook. So I will definitely approach to the speaker and ask the query, as I did always earlier and in the previous sessions. Okay, and the no e-certificates or any participation certificates will be issue of this scholar program. Only awardees will be our scholars. Awardees will be our scholars who are giving their presentations and perspectives on the different topics. And the award ceremony will be held in the coming week, but it's not publicly announced yet. So I hope, with my humble request, I hope that everything is cleared now. Okay, so moving on towards our program. So first of all, today we are going to start with the India, and from India we have Dr. Shelly Best. She is our gold medalist of Global Women Creative Award. She is also an ambassador of Education Ambassador Award, and hopefully, inshallah, she will be the scholar of our program as well. So Shelly, I wish you a very, very good luck and welcome to GTA again. And the stage is yours. You are going
Thank you
to.
so much, Huma, for such a warm welcome and such a warm introduction. You know, GTA is all a favorite platform for all of us, I believe.
Okay. Thank you very much, dear Shiri. I'm going to allow you to share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can start your presentation. We all are waiting for this.
Fine. So, greetings to the CEO, Managing Director, admin officers, executive board members, all members of Global Trainers Academy, and my alluring audience who are watching us across the globe, especially my dearest, warmest, and enigmatic Professor Huma Shah for this opportunity and invitation on Think Like a Scholar program to share my idea, thought, and presentation on such an important topic, that is global environmental problems. So, ladies and gentlemen, myself, Dr. Shelly Bish from India, an educationist and international speaker, moderator, social activist, and writer. At the outset, I want to ask a question to all and sundry. Are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and ailing environment? We have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. I would want to show it with a small presentation which I have made. And I am just sharing my screen. So, my dear Huma, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, it's completely visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so as I raised a question over here, that are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscape, and ailing environment. The question lies on all of us, and we, as the citizens of the earth, are supposed to answer this. And the answer is we haven't inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. If current trends of global growth continue to unchanged, then in the next century, growth on the planet is restricted. Is restricted to what? But none other than the pollution over here. And one thing, instances such as agroforest and complementary use of arable grounds and grasslands can in turn improve productivity and various technologies over here. So let me go through the first slide of mine. For this, it will be very much clear to you. As the first slide says, the ailing planet. So, depiction by the picture, ailing planet, we already say that as humans migrate all over the world, trees, wolves, and marsh weeds are displaced, making room for fields, towns, and settlements. Many of the Earth's precious resources are about to be depleted. The air composition is degrading, and people are already increasing in danger. Natural habitats are being irreversibly damaged, and well springs from a healthful setting. The paths to environmental destruction are economic development and industrialization. A major concern, if you could see, is the increasing depletion of natural resources, the relations between the conventional industry due to high population pressure or limited land resources and the new sector with increased volume of capital through technology borrowing are responsible for this. Poverty and inequality have grown. The environment problem can be described as a problem of the exhaustion of natural resources due to exploitation at speeds above natural recovery rates, which puts livelihoods at risk. Now, when we even talk about the pollution, whether it is air pollution, whether it is noise pollution, or whether it is water pollution, but all these pollutions are actually, a result of all this what we are doing with the environment, with our Mother Earth. Now, environmental problems are serious because technology and institutional changes lag behind resource endowment changes. Resources are becoming increasingly scarce with rapid population growth. Institutions have been slow to develop at the same time to conserve scarce natural resources. Together with these two developments, the common property resources have been severely depleted. This means that poverty is the principal cause of the degradation of the environment, and I think we have to take it very, very seriously. The incidence of soil erosion is high. They are also forcing the forest on partial lands to be cut for wood and fuel and grazing animals, which exceed these natural resources' reproductive capabilities. Of example, extreme poverty or suffering is usually a vicious ring in a situation like this. Poverty leads to malnutrition and reduces poor people's ability to work and prevent them from gaining jobs. There have been regions to which property rights are not assigned on using fragile natural resources. The government must control the use of environmentally sensitive areas to prevent such environmental degradation due to rural poverty. However, the livelihood for the poor would disappear altogether if regulations are effectively enforced. But for environmental reasons such as fertilizers and chemicals, the Green Revolution was criticized. This again is a serious issue. If efforts to develop modern technology were abandoned for all of these reasons, jobs and incomes would gradually disappear for marginalized and landless agricultural workers in the face of increasing pressures on land by the population. As a result, many residents will be driven into ecological fragile areas, which will lead to an increased rate of flooding and soil erosions. The deficiencies of current agriculture technology must therefore be resolved by improving scientific study, Moreover, the distribution of agriculture technology to favorable production environments with good irrigating conditions is not restricted by the straightness of things. Instances such as agroforest and complementary use of arable grounds and grasslands can in turn improve productivity and environmental protection in vulnerable areas. The poor are first at risk of environmental degradation both in rural and urban areas. If this damage to the poor coincides with an unequal distribution, the foundation for economic growth will be seriously undermined by social and political stability. If left unchecked, pollution related environmental degradation tends to advance cumulatively and has devastating consequences over time. The key problem with the environment is the divergence between private and social costs in environmental use, which leads to overutilization of environmental resources or their exploitation beyond socially optimal. It is important to maintain balance between development works and environmental conservation. A concrete action plan in order to compensate for the damage caused to the environment by the execution of development works. The Forest Service officers will also have to undertake initiatives aimed at increasing the forest cover, along with the mitigation of human wildlife conflict. The critical need to integrate biodiversity considerations in global decision making or any sector or challenge, whether it is water or agriculture, infrastructure or business intensive agriculture, overfishing, energy production, and the extraction of raw materials have significantly altered three-quarters of Earth's land and over half of the oceans. If you could see the next slide of mine, here we are talking about the endangered animals, the endangered plants. So here, both are in context, animals and species, plants, species, which we are talking about. We have to take good care of it so that protection of Mother Earth is always there. In the process of urbanization, industries are degrading the environment with the continuous use of natural resources. Sustainable development is all about creating new technology, companies, and environment without causing harm to the environment. Now, the main important thing, if I talk about usage, I'm going to the next slide. Climate change again is the biggest factor which we have to see. And the slide which I'm talking about now, this is the government and citizens of the country must take necessary important steps to bring sustainable development and usage of eco-friendly technology like electric vehicles instead of petrol and diesel cars can be carried out. Now, how we can do it? Following the 3R approach, which I'm showing you on my slide, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Minimization of resource use, reusing polybags or jute bags instead of throwing them, and recycling the materials goes a long way in achieving the goals of sustainability. The government and NGOs should also spread awareness and promote environmental education. Now, leading to this, whenever we discuss all these important things, the main thing which we want to see as the platform goes, think like a scholar. What are your ideas? Now, that is very much important, which I think I will show in the next slide of mine. The caption which I have put for this slide is my quick 10 lines on environmental and development, that what are the ideas, what are the thoughts we are going to give to eradicate this global problem of environment. So the survival of all living forms requires a clean environment. Unless and until the clean environment is not there, we're not going to solve this problem of ours. Government and people should take prompt and appropriate steps to reduce the emissions of the atmosphere. See, whenever we talk about an idea, whenever we talk about a thought, one person can never do it. It doesn't depend on, on the work of one person. Everybody, all the stakeholders have to be united, whether I'm talking about the people, the inhabitants of earth, or whether I'm talking about the government bodies. So the government body, along with all the people, the inhabitants of the earth together, should take prompt and appropriate steps to reduce the emissions of the atmosphere. The state should implement policies aimed at mitigating the environmental effects of industrialization, mining, and other operations. The electronic media are a good source of awareness about the environmental threat, and why not to take optimum use of it so that our message goes across to the entire world. We need to use the media here. Next, the establishment and application of a strict plastic law can play a key role in the environmental protection. And I believe if I quote an example from my house, I think I'm able to do it, because at my house, I have actually stopped the usage of plastic. Initially, years back, even I was using the plastic straw, but now instead of the plastic straw, I have bought the metal straws. Okay, no plastic bags, no plastic things. Long time back, we were using all those plastic things in the microwave. Now I've stopped using it. Only glassware, whether it is borosale or whether it is laupla or anything. So plastic is absolutely banned, and I believe if other people will also do it, this problem can be rectified. The sixth point which I want to highlight over here is we should use and allow others to use recyclable materials. Okay, whenever we go for shopping, please don't entertain the plastic bags, brown bags, paper bags, jute bags, whatever. Try to promote it. And in case somehow it happens that somebody does not know it, so kindly spread the message. Go for the awareness. Okay. It is no harm if you spread this message across the people. The seventh point which I want to highlight over here is for every living being, we need to consider the use of flora. As normally, one thing I would appreciate it why I have used the green background, because I'm talking about environment, so that is one reason I have put the green cover, the plants at my back. Why? Because here we have to highlight the flora and fauna. Eighth, renewable energy resources such as solar energy and wind energy should be promoted. Instead of personal cars, we can focus as much as possible on public transport. Why there should be an ego issue that I will go to my office in my own car? Why don't we do a carpool? Why can't I avail the metro facility? Why can't I avail the bus facility or cab or any other public transport? Why individually each one person used to travel in his or own car? So that is one thing which we have to think over this. I will be discussing about it a bit later on also. The last point is organic and fertilizer pesticides are better for the protection of the environment than plastic and fertilizer products. So this we need to promote very much. Now coming to my last slide, and that is the quick solution, as I just quoted, because this is something live, which is right now going on. The first thing which I want to discuss is the carpool. Now here, not only about the office goers I'm talking about even the collegiates. There are children who are going to the college now, since in phases, as the third wave is about to die down, the colleges and schools are reopened from today onwards, from Monday onwards. So there is a big group of school going students, college going students, even the office goers. Then why single-handedly, why somebody is using the bike, moped, or a car? A group of friends can hire a car, together they can go. I'm talking about the school students also, I'm talking about the college students also, and I'm talking about the office goers also. And next thing, why to show off? You can even walk if your office is not so far, if your school, college, something is not far, so you can walk also. And why not take an opportunity for a bicycle ride also? you know Moreover, it works for your fitness also. If I talk about fitness and environment, both things are playing a part over here. So I would rather support this. Next, shop by phone or mail. Try, see, it reduces your time also, it reduces your tension also. You are at your comfort zone, just shop online. Why to waste the petrol? Why to waste the time? Why to waste so many resources? And then please ride on the public transit. It is cheaper also, and it is less time consuming also. So I think it would be better. And then telecommute also. Now, why I have made this very, very small, the presentation, because I want to highlight only on the ideas which we want to give. Instead of speaking much, let's discuss on the ideas. That, problem is always there. We can talk at length on ailing planet. We can talk at length on deforestation. We can talk at length on all sort of pollutions, climate change, sustainable development, and everything. But then what? Where are the solutions? Where are the solutions? And the solution will come from your own house. We need not go to outside and then look for the solution. The solution lies at our own house. It lies on our own mind. The only and only thing is we have to focus on it. We have to take a decision. Yes, we have to do it. And the thing starts from your own house. Once you should be rigid. Yes, I will not be wasting the water. Teach your children, teach your family members optimum use of water. When you go to the kitchen, when you go to the washroom, tap. Do not waste the water over there. Do not over consume the electricity. Okay, do not over consume the papers. Don't make aeroplanes, or don't throw the papers here and there. Optimum resources. So the way you teach everything in your family, the same thing will be optimated outside also. So I think, with this small presentation of mine, I think I was in a position to give you short but very, very valuable ideas, and thought that how we could use it, and how, if we try to implement all these small small things at our house, I think we will be in a position to actually solve this global issue. Because this is not an issue which is happening in my particular town, in my city, in my state, in my country, but here we are talking about a global issue. Which problem? The problem is worldwide. Okay, so together we have to reach to a solution for this. And I think it will be reached when our thinking will be common, when our goals will be common, and the implementation will be done from all people all around. Then and then only this problem can be rectified. So this is what I want to speak for this. Keeping the time constraints in mind, I will not take much time of Professor Huma, because I think some other scholars are also there ready with your presentation. So thank you so much for a patient hearing and listening to me.
Wow,
So this
that's
is
great.
Dr. Shelly Bisht signing off from India.
Wow. Wonderful, dear Shelley. I'm so glad to see such an ideas and beautiful ideas from your side. And I would like to say only one thing, that now this is a time to be changed. Now we are at the position right now, what the global warming and the global problems we are facing. So now it's a time to be changed. And I that's why we create such a program for scholars, basically, that after listening hundreds and thousands of people, if only the one person can get idea and goes towards the implementation, I think we have done.
And of
So
course, that is why, because you are talking about this, and that's why we call ourselves the change makers. Be the change what you want to see in the world. And unless and until we are not the change makers, we cannot find a change in the world. So thank you
yeah.
so much for your invitation to this platform. I'm glad that I was able to share my views through the small talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Shaili, and I'm looking forward to see you at the award ceremony as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day. Okay, so moving on. Okay, he is raising his hand. Hello, Mr. Eddie. Are you raising your hand? You want to say something? Please unmute yourself first. Unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Un Sir, I request you to unmute yourself.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you very much. I'm Mr. Eddie Gualvez. My question is, this is all about the environmental issues. So, uh, can I have one, or can I have your some sort of solution that can global environmental issue be solved uh, are some causes of global environmental issues?
Yes, Eddie, I talked about the industrialization, I talk about the overpopulation, I talk about the deforestation, the soil erosion, and the extinction of the animal and species and everything. And what solution I gave was that collectively we need to solve this problem. As I quoted, that this is not in the hands of only one individual. When we talk about the population, when we talk about the society, it is all the inhabitants of the world along with the government bodies. That means here we are not talking about the group solution, here we are also talking about the individual solution. Why should we depend and the government will be doing all these measures, government will be solving the problem? Why not we as an individual entity is in a position to solve the problem? So I quoted the example that yes, each one of us should start it from our house only. We should teach our children the optimum use of electricity, water, the use of papers and everything. Stop using plastic all around. Instead of plastic, let's come to the metal, let's come to the paper bags when we talk about. And try to use the public transport instead of using your own personal vehicles all the time. Go for the carpool, go for a small walk, try to use the bicycle, try to use the public transport, try to use the telecommunicate also. And also the shopping, if we talk about, should be online. So there are many things which can be do, because what we are doing, we depletion of natural resources is there, and our job is to actually preserve all these natural resources. Why? Because this is not our planet, we have rather borrowed it from our children, as I quoted earlier in my speech. So, together, collectively, we need to do it. And we should not think that, yes, everything the government will be doing, problem is ours, but solution the government will bring it. Why not ourselves? And that is why, we are proud to call ourselves the change maker. Why? Because we, one single entity, will be doing it from our end, and then it will be happening in the form of a chain. I am doing, my neighbor
Thank
will
you.
be doing, my other friend will be doing, then the chain process will go on and on and on and on. And then together and collectively we will be in a position to combat this problem of us. So this global issue will be solved only and only when each one of us, we call ourselves the proud citizens of mother earth. And when we call our planet mother earth, we should try to protect it also, we should try to respect it also, because unnecessarily we can't use the word mother to anything. And if we are symbolizing, if we are giving it a metaphor, mother, try to protect it, try to preserve it. Why? Reuse, recycle. Why I talked about the 3R. So this will be done, and I believe that nothing is impossible. The only thing is you should have the willingness to do it, you should have the determination to do it. And yes, I will do it because I am possible. Nothing is impossible. So I hope I made myself clear to you, dear Eddie.
Yes, you mentioned that we have to minimize or to uh, to disregard by using plastic. Yes,
Yes,
that's
yes.
very good solution when it comes to environmental problem, because the plastic that you would say that we will disregard for it by using in the market or in the what do you call this in the store,
Yeah,
because plastic is not advisable to use, because it may cause for the uh, global problem of environmental. Thank you, because
I
you
I
mentioned that.
I also talked about the carpool because it is very, very important.
Yes, yes,
Each
yes,
one
very
of us,
good.
each family has 4 or 5 cars at their house. Husband, wife
Exactly.
going separately. The kids
Yes,
are going
exactly,
separately in the
exactly.
college. So why 4 cars in a family, or why 2 cars, one bike? Why, why can't we do, and why can't we go for the carpool? Why can't we travel by the public transport? Why can't we travel by
Yes,
metro? So that is very, very important.
yes. Thank you very much for a very good report
Thank you so
and
much,
for
Thank
Eddie,
an
to bring up this
idea
question.
that you have made. Thank you very much.
So much, dear Shady, for your wonderful ideas, and the perspective was completely so monitored and meaningful. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
dear. Okay. So moving on towards the next scholar. Okay, from Pakistan, Mr. Ibrahim, are you here?
Yes, Ms.
I
Ma'am. Yeah.
turn on your camera and unmute yourself.
Na-entertain ako. Nakapagbigay ako ng solution.
My camera is a little bit dull because of the light.
Okay. Okay, so we have this caller from Pakistan. He will give you his idea and his perspective on the topic. So let's see what he is going to tell you about today. Hello and Assalamu alaikum, Ibrahim Sahab. I hope you are doing great. And now you can please go ahead and start your presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Huma, and thank you, the Global Trainer Academy, for giving this opportunity to us to learn from each other, share our ideas, and motivate each other for this particular concept. Whatever we are planning for, and whatever we can do on our end, and try others to motivate so that others can also be a part of what we are doing. As we have already heard about that, a chain will try on when the first person tries, and it moves on. So we are all here to build that chain one by one so that we can achieve a better person. So today I'm going to share my presentation with you all. I'm going to talk about the future classroom on the basis of online education. Right. So before I start, that it's a 21st century technology we have, and the classroom requires a technology to be in there, because without the technology there will be no classroom. Otherwise it will be an old traditional classroom where we used to study all the time, and unfortunately that we do not proceed that way the child of today's world needs to be, right? So before going on to my topic, I will introduce to you myself. My name is Ibrahim Shabbir. I'm from Pakistan. I'm PTCT certified teacher, as well as I'm currently working as a coordinator of computer science department in Badri High School. I'm also the founder and director of Smart Games Academy, where we have built educational games on the basis of different subjects, focusing on English, maths, and science, especially. I have been awarded with the Thomas Edison Silver Award, as well as the Best Teacher Award in the year 2021. And I have already conducted many training sessions for teachers as well as for students to make them tech savvy, because that's what the technology demands right now. Right. So moving on towards the further, I will start with the quote, because what I love in this particular, whenever I present, a quote usually defines the presentations that I'm going to talk about. So here we have the quote that says that when students can access and use the same tools outside of the classroom as they use in the school, the learning more easily transfer from the classroom into the real world. Right. So before going on, that we talk about that the technology are in that world of today, in the kids today, are the driving generations. They are the driving points for the kids to make them study or make them into a learning pattern, right? So now the whole education system, if you can see, after the pandemic and we have transferred to the online education, after that the whole education system has been evolved, and they have been adopting the efficient type of learning technologies, or you can say tools of technologies, to implement learning in a very better way, right? So the technology based classrooms are not just the future, but it's the present. If we talk about right now, it's already there, we have already emphasized, but we need to learn something more, because right now if the schools are open, we are back to the school, we are not back to the physical stations. So we need to think that what we were teaching on an online classes, how can we implement, because the child has a favor of that right now. The child was used to that, and I think that the child is more confident in that online education rather than coming to the physical classroom, right? I know for the, as for the teachers is concerned, physical classroom is the best way to teach, except then online, because where we are continuously haunting the students that where are they, what are they doing, some distractions are also there, but their kids are more reliable in that particular place so that they can learn it well, right? So now when we come to this, we have already emphasized on learning tools, we have done on the quiz manuals, we have done online collaborative tools, and we have done multiple of things in our spaces when we are going to work on our online classes. But when it comes to a physical classroom, what will be the future of our classroom? So the ideas which I generated, that let's talk about what is a classroom. If you can see the difference between these two classroom here, that the present classroom is in front of you, and the physical classroom, the future classroom, which will be like will be something like this, and it's already is done, right? So actually we were in the present instead of a future, but this will be the future classroom coming up in the next years. Okay. Okay, so the future classroom, or the classroom of the future of tomorrow, is a concept used in several different ways, right? We have used in very different ways, because what you think will be your future classroom. If you emphasize something technology in it, you can emphasize some new tools in it, you are actually building your future classroom. That what you want, because now after teaching the students from an online to physical, we know that we require these particular equipments in our classroom to make them study more effectively. So that is what, that you are defining your classroom of future in a very different way, and all of us have a different concept regarding that, right? The most important thing that the future classroom will be having is the technology rich classroom. It should be technology rich. Now what type of technologies were there? It should be computer integrated classrooms. Computers will be there. Right now the child has learned into an online system where he has a computer in front of them. So now if you give them a book, they were like, okay, chalo, we can't read that book, we need to search on. So they used to search a videos or something like that, they can understand, and they give you a review on it. That's very simple for them. So we need to now, instead of focusing on books, we need to focus on the technology part, that how can we use effectively for our kids, right? Other thing we have, that it's not a concept that I already talk about, that the changes in the way of teaching kids are already happening. As I told you that we have already done the online classes, so already our change of teaching is already changed, and the students and teachers have started using the cloud spaces to store work, right now we already do it. Even this platform meeting which we are having right now, where we are globally connected to each other, is a Zoom, and we figured it out when we went to a pandemic. Otherwise before that there was no such things like this. So we gone through it, we have adopted, and now we are using it in a better way. So we have to teach this as a to our children as well, that when you are using the technology, you have to use in a very effective way. And also you can't even say them that every time that this is the better way to use, but you have to show them, you have to showcase them that how the technology can be used in a much better way, right? Now first about, let's talk about a flexible classroom. We need a flexible classroom environment, because if you can see right now, we all are in a comfortable zone, right? We all have everything around us, right? And we can do anything right now. If even you have a want to drink a glass of water, you can easily have it without even asking someone, right? Otherwise what will have in the physical classroom, you have to first ask the teacher, interrupting her between the lecture, that can I have a glass of water, and then she allows, and then you have to drink. So big circumstance here, you can have it by yourself, right? So that is what we need about. Now first of all, as we already talk about the global environment right now, so the first thing is we need to make the school greener. As schools look more greener, the more attraction, or you can say the more attention span of a child increases, right? That's a report says that when you see around the greeners around you, you can increase your attention span. Even if there's some sea or something near your classroom, that will be more effective, because your eyes feels very fresh at that time, and you see more attentive, right? Even if you go to a seaside or somewhere, what happens, you are more energetic than anything else by looking just a water coming up, right? So it's these natures, the natural things which are there in our environment creates an effectful impact on the child's learning environment. Introducing moving walls. See, the introducing moving walls does not mean that the wall should move. Here, the introducing the moving wall means you cannot hold the child into a four walls classroom. But the learning cannot even only happen in a classroom, it can happen outside the classroom. So you need to give the space to explore. The child needs a space to explore things by their own. You cannot stop them every time that you cannot go out. If they want to study outside the classroom, you need to take them, because I will just give an example. If I'm teaching science and I'm teaching about plants, I cannot make them sit inside the classroom of the four walls and make them study about the plants. I need to take them near the tree or something to explore them so that they can relate everything directly there. Right. So that is one of the one. No fixed access, because we usually have this. So we need to avoid this fixed access. No one is fixed at any place. They can roam, because all have different multiple intelligence. All will be having a multiple learning styles. So we need to cater that. Some is kind of static, who cannot sit properly. He needs to walk while learning something new or reading something. So you cannot stop that particular child that no, you have to sit and learn, or you have to sit and do the work. So that's what we need to change in ourselves. Right now, if you talk about the online classes, everyone was at their own comfortable zone, so they have developed those skills. So now, keeping those skills in mind, we need to just bring them more better way, right? Instead of demoting them, we have to motivate their learning style into much better way. Okay, now this is one of the point which I want to arrange here, that opportunities to rearrange classroom to achieve better collaboration. This part is more important. Usually what we do, we as a teacher decide where the child will sit, but a teacher never asks the child where you want to sit. That's the most important part. Once you ask the student that where you want to sit, you will see a change, because the child has arranged his seat according to it. So the collaboration will be more better in your classroom. Your classroom will be more participating, active participants will be there, because they are in their freedom zone. They can sit anywhere. They can have with their friends. They can sit with any other one, so that they can collaborate with each other. Once they are collaborating with each other, you can see a beautiful results coming out in your classroom, right? Private workstations and study spots, that is most important. That is, you should have private workstation. For example, if we have a classroom and the classroom does not have enough space for a four person or a group of people to work together, then we need to provide them a private workstation, so where they can work on their own space. Otherwise, what happens that this two groups are sitting at the one places, and usually their things get matched up. So sometimes they start quarreling with each other because of this, or they do not space, so they have some queries with each other, right? So they have some issues with them as they are child and they are more energetic, so they comes with this particular problem. So we need to solve those problems by giving them a private workstation, that this is your place, you can work here, no one is going to disturb you, no one is going to come to your place. Otherwise, what happens, it's already open. If you tell a child to make a 3D presentation on something, then those presentation needs to be hidden from the other students until and unless it is presented by those students. So workstations are more important for our kids. And a very next, that is collaborative workspaces. Collaborative workspaces usually, if we have something like this, then the classroom environment will be something different, right? What will happen, it will build a teamwork in a and that teamwork will be more effective. As it already says, the team works makes the dream works, right? And the dream work can only be achieved when you have a teamwork. So that is what we talk about, that in your classroom also there should be a collaborative tools which you can use, or the workspace where the child can collaborate with each other and work with each other. Sometimes we have a different level of students in our classroom. Some are average, some are below average. So we need to collaborate with them, so that all the students can be on one page and they can achieve together with each other. So that collaboration skills, once we develop in our child, then it will be much better. Okay, secondly comes with the technology friendly classroom. As you already know that technology we have already introduced, so we need to have a technology in the classroom. just writing things on the board or something like that will not help the students to imagine things initially, right? Right now, one more thing which we have, that is video lectures, right? Sometimes you show a YouTube video to a child, but actually what happens there, that you have shown that video twice or thrice maybe. Now the child is completely bored with that video because of the previous years he's watching the same video again and again. So now he's bored, he needs something new. So you need to have some tools or some type of technology that you can integrate in your classroom other than those videos, right? So what we can do is that, number one, interactive whiteboard. This is one of the best tool which we can use in the classroom. Interactive whiteboards can help you out to draw, to add pictures, to add videos. Even you can even do on the graphs, right? It allows you to write on a video as well. It can allow you to write on a pictures as well. So it means that you are showing them a picture of a flower and you are doing the labeling of that flower on the board. So actually the flower looks very natural. Otherwise, when we draw something, we sometimes hide those particular parts which we cannot draw, right? So that usually happens and the child does not know which part is that. And during the examinations, we usually ask such type of things, that what this part called. A child does not even know that what that part called, even you have taught or not, right? So that usually happens. So whiteboard gives you a very bit cool idea to integrate in your classroom because the picture is there, so you can easily work with. Then comes the tablets or the ebooks. Now the textbooks has been eliminated, or you can say it's going less. Now the people are more comfortable in working with tablets or ebooks. They used to have the presentations. I will give you a personal experience of mine that my students usually like to have these type of things. That can you give us the PPTs or the PowerPoint presentations to study, because they know that will be a best way to study, because there will be a key point by which they can understand it very properly, and then later on they can refer to the books as well. But the first thing they want to study is from the tablets or from electronic tools, right? That is the most preferable tool for them. It's very easy for them to study with that because they have some gadget in our hand instead of a books. So they usually have. And the one thing which interactive whiteboard will do, that it will replace your traditional whiteboard. Once your traditional whiteboard is off and your interactive whiteboards are there, it means you are going to give something new to the students. Believe that. It's very true that sometimes when you do them, that's amazing things. The child learns and have some attention that what is going to be next in this. So they are more energetic in that. On the whiteboard, they usually know that whether the teacher will draw or the teacher will write, nothing else. But in the interactive board, you can have multiple things. You can draw as well. You can play a video, stop them, make them something understand from that particular space by drawing or by highlighting things on it. So it's very much easier for them to understand those concepts here. Okay, then you already need these things because you need a effortless internet connectivity in your classroom. That is more important because if you have tablets and smart screens on your classroom, then you need to require it. And reliable cyber security. Once you have this type of technologies, then you also need to have a security system in your schools where the child cannot go anywhere else in the, because once you have a tablet in front and you open a YouTube for child to watch a video, I am deliberately sure that you will after that video ends, your child will serve for something else as well. Maybe looking at some other video. Oh, this is also a good video, let me watch it first. So your whole period will be gone on watching the videos only, right? Because the child loves to do that. But we need to have those security systems so that we can have the control of our class. Then control of access, as I already told, that you need to have a control of your classroom. Moving on, stimulation technologies. That is what the augmented virtual reality is right now, that is required for our classroom. Now, is this virtual or augmented related is inevitably part of the future, right? When you enter the classroom, it is well expected to help create various learning styles, right? Improve the whole learning process. This particular augmented and virtual reality help the students to learn in a very creative way instead of a textbook. Even your textbooks with the augmented or virtual reality can be a 3D. So if you have an image in your book and it can be transformed into a 3D model, then a child will be able to understand it more properly in that, right? Just like I will give you an example. If you're talking about a body system, right? A body system have a picture there. Now, the front and the back are two different places, right? So if your child have a 3D virtual reality and you give them a 3D model standing on them, so it would be a great. Right now, if you can see on the slides of mine, if you can see the picture of that castle on a mobile phone, right? You can see it very attractive right now. Wow, how does it look like? You can easily visible, you can zoom it, you can easily visible inside it. So that's what the virtual and augmented related is, that you make them things which are not real, make them real for them. But it's a virtual, I know that, but you make them real for them, so at least they can feel like, okay, this how it's really in front of me. Otherwise what happens, it's just a picture, they cannot understand with the picture concept. So we need to have them look at it, right? Virtual reality is one of the options that we have right now. We have already talked about, there were some glasses of the virtual reality by which you can have some videos on it which is connected with your mobile phone, and you can see a video with a virtual ones, right? Virtual screens. So that is also a part, you can show them any video with the help of those as well. As you can see on the picture, there's one man who is wearing the virtual reality glasses on one side of eye, right? Then we have argumentative technologies. Visit place virtually. With the help of this, you can visit the places very virtually. No one required to move from one place to another. If I want to visit some places like Saudi Arabia or something like this, then I do not need to buy a ticket. With this virtual reality, it will be easy for me to visit those places, right? So this would help us in that. And the three-dimensional 3D models. The 3D models are good experience for a child to learn. That has been proved by the report that the child focuses more on a 3D model. Once he has a 3D model, he turns around and look every corner of it so that he can understand what type of things will be there inside them and how it is created. So that 3D model is very important for us. Okay, now when we talk about the online classroom, right, we usually develop the concepts, but we need to make them come to the reality. That's what the concept is, that we need to bring them to the reality, that what is there. So we have remote access software. You can have we have learning management systems, many of them are there that allow you to have the lectures, the quizzes, the assignment, everything from your pace, wherever you are comfortable. You can attempt it anytime and you can just submit your work with that, right? So we need, if we want to make our students learn technology very well, we need to accept those things and we need to work on that. Even the teachers, we teachers were before, if I talk about the pandemic, before the pandemic, we were not used to this technology very much, but nowadays we are well equipped with this. Now we know that, okay, even a teacher of who has a 70 years of experience or 50 years of experience can now even say that, okay, I can handle the technology in a better way now, because she has used to while she was teaching. So that help us right now to create more access platforms for our students for their learning styles. Screen scaling technologies we have. Then we move upon online education tools, apps, and platforms, right? You can have many tools are there, many online, like just like if I talk about a Kahoot app. A Kahoot app allows you to have an online quizzes. Even in the classroom, you can incorporate those, because the child loves to do the examinations in a very effective way. If you tell them to have an MCQs based like this in a Kahoot way, they will do it and they will enjoy it, right? So we have multiple type of apps like that. There's a many platforms, there's many other tools which you can collaborate. I was just using one of the tools which I will talk about. Usually in our classroom, when you have some presentations or something, right? So what happens, every student needs to do it very fast. and they have, sir, can I, and they start raising their hands and they start speaking. So actually you miss your class management. What I do is I introduce a spinning wheel in my classroom with the online tool applications. It can be online. If you search for online spinning wheel or randomized generator, random names generator, you can find it out. What will happen? You will just put the group's name and you will move it. Now when you do it randomly, a child name will pick up or the group name will be there, so that group will come and present. So now you will also say that, okay, I have not chosen, the system has chosen the first who will perform. So that is most important thing. The, that it's some type of, the teacher, you does not call us first, miss, you always tell those students to come first, why not us? So here this big misconception has been reduced. A system generated has been taken, so it allows, because now the child is also much eager, whose name will be there, who is going to come next, how does the, if the wheel rotates on me and stuck on me, then I will be the one who will present. So they have the curiosity in them, and that curiosity builds a good type of learning experience for them. Okay, then online assessment softwares we have, as I told you, the quizzes which we can do it, right? That also a part of a online, because we right now, if we can have, right, we want to have a quick survey right now. If Ms. Uma wants to have a quick survey that how the scholars are doing, how they have learned, so she can just make a Google form and send this to us, and that will also help her to evaluate in a within a second of that. That every scholar will fill, and he or she will get the all the information there, right? Secondly, we have an integration of games. Games and applications. These are the basic tools that is required nowadays in the classroom, right? Why there are many different games which you can see, educational based games that are required in the classroom right now, because they create a very meaningful impact, because a child loves to play, right? I have read a quote that we do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing, right? If you can see that even sports, something like that, when you play, right? When a child goes to physical activities, right? He's more energetic. Why? They feel more energy, and when they come back to the classroom, okay, now I have to study. Okay, the boring lectures and the boring things will be there, so they get demotivated. So also we have to incorporate those type of games in our learning lectures as well, in the classroom as well, so that it can motivate our child towards the learning experiences. So we have such type of things, that video games for education purposes are also there. Education related applications are also there, which can cater multiple intelligence, multiple learning styles for them, right? See, the developing of games in the field of science, mathematics, and English language and more, because this is one of the field which I'm in, and I'm developing those games for my kids, where they can learn the concept with the help of the playing of games only. So it helped me out to use these things, right? The integration of these type of games will let your child have a great interest in your subject matter as well, and as well as in the studies. Now, moving on towards the revolution of learning, as we have moved from the online to physical again, we have some learning revolutions that we need to focus on. Multiple learning styles. We have understood the learning styles. We need to incorporate not just a verbal lesson. We need to have to cater all three parts of a learning style. That is kinesthetic, whether it's a verbal or it's a visual. So we need to cater all these three types of learning styles of a child to help them learn in that way. Flexible learning opportunities we need to provide for every child, that they have flexible. It means the way they want to learn. It's not necessary that we tell the child to learn exactly the same thing. If the concepts gets clear, the child can even do much better on their own. We need to just build the concepts in them. For that particular reasons, you need to have them flexible learning option. We need to space them out, right? It's you who, it's the teachers who will give them a space, so the child can do much better. Adapt learning technologies. You need to adopt. the learning technology. Otherwise, if you do not adopt it and you will stay on the traditional way, you will bring nothing to the kids. The kids will be like, okay, we have just a regular lesson. They will not be motivated, they will not be energetic in your classroom. For that particular reason, you need to have adaptive learning technologies in your classroom, right? Focus on specific trends and interests and goals of each individual. We need to cater on, see, it's every child is unique in our classroom. So we need to cater every specific strength and interest for each and every individual students here in our classroom, so that that particular child can have a better future. It's who are building the future for them. So we need to have those things, that we focus on his strength, we make them have an interest on him, and we make them goal oriented in their life. Okay, at the end I will just make summarize for you few things that what we have learned, right? It means you need to open doors for more flexible teaching and effective educations. Number two, better adaptation to the needs of the students, and better learning and more opportunities for the young generation. The young generation is more energetic, and I'm telling you, more tech friendly. So if you give them more opportunities, I know that millions of students are there. They will bring something new to you every day. Once you give them a chance, they will bring something new. Maybe I will just share one experience, one more of mine, that when I started this particular things in my classroom, making them watch video, the next thing which they raise about there any queries or something like this, I usually tell them to go and search for that. And they do not have that word search, they do not search for the content, they search as a video or they search as a game. And the students bring that to me, that sir, look at this is the particular topic which I found on the YouTube, this video is something like this, or this particular application which I'm using is giving me the concept of this. So usually, okay, I was amazed to see that I was not knowing about that application, but my child bring that to me. So it means it helped me out in my integration of the education as well. Now I integrate those games in my learning experience, so that the child can do much better. So it means we also are in a learning space. A child learns something from it, but we also have to learn something from our children. So it's like two ways going on. So that's all for my side. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope it would be a great learning experience for you all. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow, wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim. How beautifully and briefly you describe each and every point of your presentation. And I highly appreciate. Thank you so much for taking part in GTA. And I'm looking forward to see you soon, inshallah, as well.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mr. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Okay, so quickly moving towards Vietnam. Lithi Maha, are you here, dear? Yes, dear. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, so I can hear you clearly, right?
So the next scholar is from Vietnam, Lithi Maihan. She is a very much active member and executive board member of Global Trainer Academy. And she is going to give you another, yes, another idea. So let's see what she is going to present in front of you. Yes, dear, please go ahead.
So can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
That's yeah, sorry, some mistake from my sharing. Wait for me some second, please. Nice.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, to the host and organization and our speaker today, right? First of all, I would like to introduce something about myself. I'm Leti Mai from Vietnam, a teacher of English, and the president of English Club at the high school from Vietnam. Yeah, very happy to be here to share with you on about the topic, global environment problem. Okay, as you see that nowadays there are a lot of global environment problems which are facing on the people in the world, but among them there are 5 most major global environment problems. Yeah, first is air pollution and climate change. You see that air pollution and climate change is the most serious global environment problem. Around us every day, the air is more and more polluted, yeah, which lead to more and more diseases and even death. And the second is deforestation. Yeah, you can see on the screen, you see that a lot of forest trees are cutting down to meet humans' need of earth, food and medicine, which lead to many disasters such as flood, storm, for example. And next one is the species extinction. You see, one fact that all the species are in danger of extinction due to over exploitation of human beings, pollution, and climate change. And next one is soil degradation. One fact that farmers nowadays always are using pesticides, fertilizer, herbicide on their farming, which makes the soil quality worse and worse. And next one is overpopulation. You see that the world today is facing overpopulation everywhere, which cause a lot of famine, poverty, and pandemics such as COVID-19. And in the speaking presentation, I would like to mention the first major global problem of environmental is air pollution and climate change. You see that there are a lot of problems from air pollution and climate change. Overloading of atmosphere of ocean waves with carbon, atmospheric carbon dioxide absorbs and re-emit refer wavelength radiation lead to warmer air, soil and ocean physics, surface water, which is good, and planet would be frozen solid without this. Unfortunately, there's now too much carbon in the air, burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, agriculture, and industrial activity have put up atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration from 280 parts per million 200 years ago to about 400 parts per million today. That's sharp rise in both size and speed. The result is climate changes. And I would like to mention about some solution. There are some solutions to reduce air pollution such as first, replacing fossil fuel with renewable energy. Next one is reforestation, reducing emission from agriculture, changing industrial processes. Yes. And so now I would like to give some solution at Lao Cai High School number 1, Vietnam. Some students are doing to reduce this problem. In order to contribute to reduce air pollution and preventing climate change, teachers and students of Lao Cai High School number 1, Vietnam are participating in the worldwide green project. This is a major global project. Students will do the planting trees, taking care of trees, making video about the planting Let me show you one of the visual my student do. For example, okay, here you can see this. My student makes.
Hello everyone.
Yes.
My name is Dwi, and I am a student in class 10 Define High School number 1 in Lào City. So I'm taking part in the Workwide Green project, and now I will talk about the importance of planting tree. Planting tree has many benefits that can provide oxygen to the environment, make your home greener and more beautiful. Trees have a safe water and prevent damage like flood, storm. When we plant the tree, we must take up the tree, prune the leaf, prune the water the tree enough, so that the tree will grow and live well. As students, we should protect the environment, tree, and propagate to everyone about the benefits of planting tree. Thank you for listening.
Okay, and moreover, they are also taking the International Conference of Worldwide Green Project and share the product of trees planting, drawing picture of planting trees. Let me show you some project at the conference that my students do.
Yes, we can. Yes, thank you. Can you turn your phone?
Yes. Okay, some mistake, right? Okay, and here, my student.
Project soldiers.
Okay.
Hello everyone. My name is Minh Anh and I'm from Lào Cai. Nguyễn Minh Thư here. She can have some sharing in English and Chinese too. With the hope of many people around the world can involve in the project. They can speak English or they cannot speak English. You can speak their own language, but they have passion in supporting the project. So it's a message she want to share. So now it's Minter from 10D1. Your turn, please. Can you hear me, Minter? Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Minter. I'm a student at Lào Cai High School number 1, and I can speak two languages in English and Chinese. But today I want to use Chinese to make my presentation.
Okay, for example, in the international conference, my student can use English or Chinese to share the project of planting tree green. I think we are very proud of them. They are raise awareness of planting tree, shape environment, and I think it's very good for my student, right? And here, and moreover, they through the planting tree, they are also educating to the people around the world and around us to the effect of planting trees and protecting environment and preventing climate change. And my student of the school participate eagerly in the project, which arm to raise student awareness about the protecting the environment, living actively and always be responsible for global issue. It's also very meaningful in educational content that integrated into the school education program. Yes, we hope that so that project it will spread the message of positive living environmental protection to all students, teacher, and people around the world. Thank you for the listening, and thanks to the session tonight. Because here I have opportunity to share about the interesting topic, and wish all of you good health and continue their mission in the world. Let's protect environment together. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Lithi Mahai. And this is something very unique and different that to engage your students with this project. And I am seeing last from the month that you and other members of our GTA from Vietnam are continuously doing a very great job on environmental problems, and they are planting the trees and all these things. I'm looking like this. So thank you very much. And your presentation was very nice, and you gave very prompt ideas. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, dear. Okay. Okay, finally, so that's all for today. Today we had the two persons with the same idea. The idea on the global environmental problems did by Dr. Shili Bist from India, and the one did by the English of Lithi Mai Han, Vietnam. And the one idea we had on the future classrooms on the basis of online education from Pakistan, Mr. Ibrahim Shabir. Thank you so much. आप तीनों का बहुत शुक्रिया जिसको उर्दू समझ आ रही है उसके लिए. Okay, thank you very much, all of you. And thank you, dear Sheely. Thank you, Lithi Mayan. And thank you, all the members. Yes, you're most welcome. And thank you so much, all the members who always support us, and executive board members and our judges who always support us and come in the Zoom meeting and actively participate in all the projects and program. So see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have another ideas with another scholars, and tomorrow's scholars will be from Vietnam, India, and from Bangladesh, I think. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Greetings from India once again. Bye-bye, everybody. And thank you so much, Uma.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, dear Shili. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.